So, what's been going on?
I know.
You literally just talked.
What do you have to say?
So what's been going on?
My husband getting on my nerves.
I went to Texas.
Tap dancing on my last nerve.
Aniva sent me to Texas to find a new home. And I did that. And I was extremely successful in the adventure. I saw about 17 houses, which was insane.
Like a day and a half.
In 2 days. I was pretty much exhausted every single day. But we found a new home. We're gonna wait to tell everybody what it is. Y'all gonna see it on the video, of course. We just signed the contract and did the whole earnest thing. It's a new deal.
For the fourth time.
Yeah. Kind of just stumbled on it, to be honest. Guys, like the worst producer.
Oh my gosh.
We kind of just stumbled on it. The house that we really wanted wasn't going to be ready until January, so we couldn't go forward with that one. So we.
I have to go to the car. I have to go to the car.
Why Daisy back there?
So yeah, you tell him.
What is she doing?
Daisy, get out.
Oh my gosh.
So,
What am I supposed to be saying?
I don't know what you're supposed to go through a recap.
I didn't go anywhere. I was here.
We literally called you at like every single house.
Yes, it was great seeing all those different houses, seeing what the market had to offer. I definitely wish that I could have been there. I'm not gonna lie, because it's not the same looking at it on the camera as it is in person. And he had terrible service out there, so most of the time it was pixelated. So I was kind of really having to put my trust in him and hoping that he would pick something that he knew we would all enjoy.
Which I did.
Yes. From what I did see, it looks like it's going to be nice.
Yeah, I showed her the video. I showed her the video.
I know.
I think it's kind of hard trying to talk about the size of the house when you're like just seeing it through video. Like you can't really like imagine.
Yeah.
Because videos are very, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, because like the way when I saw a yard or something and I said it looked kind of small, you're like, oh no, it's huge. But I wasn't seeing the full effect of everything. Same thing with, I don't think I said that about any of the houses. Well, if I said the house was small, most of the time you was like, yeah, that was pretty small.
Yeah.
So I guess it was just the yard basically.
And also, our real estate agent was amazing out there. Aniva knows her personally. She was extremely helpful in it, and she also like gave off the same vibe that I was getting for a lot of the houses and a lot of the sales personnel that we were talking to. Cause I'm big on how you present yourself and your product. Like that's how I'm viewing your product. So if I come to you and you as a sales agent, you showing up in a t-shirt and basketball shorts, I'm already like taken back. I'm like, yeah, I don't even know if like this is a product I want to rock with, especially when you show up like that and you're late. Not that happened, but it definitely happened.
You don't feel no type of way about it?
I don't feel no type of way about it. So we had that happen, and one of the builders, it was kind of crazy because we walked into it. It was the old model home, which the house was really nice, but in the backyard is literally an apartment complex.
Yeah, that was a definite turn off.
Yeah. Which we kind of have now, but not so much because we have these huge like 80 foot trees that block the view.
Yeah, and having the trees definitely does help put like a little buffer in between the whatever's going on in their neighborhood and ours. So it still feels like there's no one behind you, especially in the summertime when everything's in full blossom. You really can't even see anything behind us. But now that the leaves are starting to fall, you can, but it's still not nearly as bad as what that house was giving. The apartment complex was sitting, it looks like on a hill, just like looking down into your house. So yeah, that was definitely a turn off, even though that house was super nice.
Yeah, because I even asked, I was like, are they going to put like a higher retaining wall right there? Because how the parking lot is, literally the lights will shine into the house. If it's nighttime and somebody's just pulling up and, you know, just going on about their business, they're going to pull into the parking lot and the lights are going to shine. So then that led into us asking about the blinds being installed in the home and coming with the home. In which case he said no, which depending on where you are, like that's the standard. But one thing that I learned, this is our first house that we're buying in Texas. It just all depends. Like if you ask for the moon, chances are they're probably gonna say yes because they want to get rid of the house. But with him saying no to that, it took me back again. I was like, all right, I don't know what this dude is on right now, but a lot of the sales agents, it was only 2 that I could say like really presented themselves like above and beyond trying to help us out and trying to say like, okay, like this is what I can offer, the professionalism. And then that house, the freaking guest bathroom, the half bathroom, it used to be the model home. So in the model home, they had this really nice mirror. The mirror's gone now, in which case we know most houses come with like just a standard mirror. And I asked the dude, I was like, hey, are we gonna get a mirror? And he's like, yeah, probably not.
Which is crazy. I feel like you can just put the plain old builder grade mirror back in the bathroom and call it a day. But to just say no, you're not getting a mirror, like not even consider putting it in there.
That junk.
Yeah.
That junk like really made me mad. So that was, and then after that we went to what I would say my favorite neighborhood, which we pull into the neighborhood. We see the model home. I walk in and it's like, it's breathtaking. And I'm like, all right, like this is nice. But the sales agent wasn't there, but the secretary was. And what stood out to me was the secretary said like, he's not here, he's on his off day, but how about I take you around, anything I can't answer, we'll either call him, we'll get him on the phone, we'll figure it out. So she like takes us around. I think in that community we saw about 8 houses and they're still building. So I'm like walking around, it's jokers like sleep. It's like they eating, they taking shits. It's all types of stuff going on in these houses. But they were like, hey, like this, can we walk through? I'm like, yeah, sure, like go ahead and walk through. So it was one that like stuck out. It was on what they call a green belt, so they can't build behind. And I like not having neighbors looking at me. In my backyard, there's like, I think every house except our first house.
Yeah.
We haven't had neighbors behind us. Like that has always been like a thing with all our houses. So she takes us to this one house. I'm like, this is the one. Like this is it. I call a neighbor on the phone. I'm like, I got a good feeling about this house. So that was day 1. I think that was the last one that we saw. Day 2, it was like, we started at 10 o'clock and it was just like builder after builder after builder. So the first day, actually, I think we saw more than 17 houses because the first day we saw about 11 on the first day. And then the second day we saw about 13.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So the second day we started with what I would say like the super high-end homes. We were seeing I was seeing like homes like this is
forever homes.
Yeah, this is where you gonna be forever, which is not bad.
That's just not us.
But it's not us right now. Like it was good seeing like where we want to be, like when we get out the military and say like, okay, this is it. But as far as like saying like this is an investment as well, when we leave, it wasn't there. But man, them houses. That was straight home house. Home house is what I would call it. And then I called Neva on one of them. I'm like, cause they had the bathtub where you can just envision like you just naked in the bathtub, but she like behind, and then the shower is like marble. It's like everything is just marble. It's like bam, bam. Then they got a little vanity on each side. You walk through, it's like just grand entrances. And I was like, Neve, like, we can be broke for a while. Like, don't worry about it.
No. Sorry. Shut that down super quick.
But they were good houses, so we were still looking at that, and then we were talking about the possibilities, and then we go to another subdivision where I would say it was just a step above base housing. And here's my belief, because we had a long talk about this because I was super frustrated with how she tried to pitch it to me, and she's like, yeah, it's a military community. You can see all your buddies. Like, that's not what I want.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Well, there are probably people that do want that, but we don't want that. Like, I don't need to be living. Right now, we too close to people that work near us.
Yeah. And she's like, this whole first block right here, like, everybody's military. Like, that don't make me safe. That irritates me because military people are vindictive and they sit there and they try to watch what you're doing. They talk too much. I don't want that. And I highly suggest, like, anybody that's going into a military community, I'm not saying that it's all builders, but if they're like pushing towards like the whole military thing, in my mind, it's a house that's not worth nothing. And sure. B, like, there's no credibility with that builder to say, hey, my house is worth the price that you're gonna pay, because they look at military personnel as guaranteed money. And I hate that. Because they know for a fact that every month they're gonna get that mortgage. Mm-hmm. And this community, they had like super high prices, and those prices definitely was not worth.
That was the one though with like all the pools and all that stuff.
Nope.
Is that? Oh.
Nope. This one, it was no amenities in the area. It was no amenities, and it was wild because she tried to like pitch that whole like, you don't have any neighbors behind you because they're going to be offset. Which equates to now, instead of having one neighbor behind me, I have two. And I was like, so I have two neighbors behind me. And she's like,
she was having a rough day.
She's like, yeah.
She was having.
She just kept saying, it's Friday. It's Friday.
Like, lady.
Yeah. We had a 20-minute debate about the difference between a game room and a loft, which we're stationed up in the DC area, so we're used to lofts.
Yeah.
Texas, they call it a game room.
It's
the same thing. If you tell me, if you just walk into my house and be like, oh, this is a really nice game room, cool, appreciate it. She was like, no, we don't have any houses that come with lofts.
Cause did she say she was thinking like of a full apartment?
Yeah. I was like,
what? Yeah.
I was like, all right.
Anyway, we didn't go with them. Look, we didn't go with them either, so.
Yeah, we definitely didn't go with them. Cause she was pushing like way too hard, and for the price, I'm like, man, this is not even worth it. Like, it just, if it reminds me of base housing, I'm like, nah, I can't do this.
But yeah, like, so you gotta think though, they built all those houses based off how the market was like last year or.
Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what she said.
Yeah.
She said that community was driven by the community that was right next door that like sold out because of the military, and I was like,
yeah, but the dang interest rates are also like double what they
these
were.
car interest rates.
So,
that they got going on.
Yeah.
And then we went to Perry Homes, which Perry Homes was like, those homes were like really nice. That like, that kind of made me think a little bit. We saw a few.
Yeah, made him think a lot because he was calling me like, you sure? We don't want to up it. Like, no, we don't.
We saw a few over there.
Yeah, they were nice. They were really, really nice from what I could see.
And then, man. So we did that, and all right, Daisy. After we went there, we went to another subdivision where the dude wasn't there because he was at a cardiologist appointment, which I completely understand. Nah, I'm gonna put his business out there because that joker was rude. He was rude with it because we're trying to figure out like who can allow us to see the house, because I was on the set schedule, which I completely understand that this man had a medical appointment. Cool. I too have medical appointments sometimes, but there is always somebody that can handle my business in my absence. Apparently that's not how this building works. Like, the house was like super nice, and I'm like, man, what's the price? Like, I'm like, we're in the neighborhood and we're going in the houses that we're not even supposed to be in. Like, because the model homes are locked, right? Because nobody wants their stuff stolen. So we just up in the houses that are like halfway built. I'm just like, one lady, she was like, oh yeah, we just bought this one right next door. I was like, cool, let me see.
Did she show y'all the house?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Right, she did.
Well, that was nice.
Went all up in them houses.
That was nice enough. She ain't had to. What?
She probably didn't want to.
Oh. I thought you said something else.
So did that. And then we go back to the community that we finally decided on. Walked around. Then we find out that the house that I really like, that we really like, is not going to be done until January. So then that started like a whole sequence of events. So then we had to find another home within that community that we're glad at how it worked out.
It worked out in our favor.
Yeah.
So far.
The one thing that I will say as like a word of advice to people is put an offer in, even if it's a new house. Because you don't know what the builder's gonna say. Builders take offers.
Some.
Yeah, some.
Some builders.
Some
take
might
offers.
laugh. Some might cry.
If they want to get these houses moving,
Yeah.
they better start taking some offers.
Especially with right now.
Mm-hmm.
With the way that interest rates are, like a lot of people don't want to buy right now. So a lot of these houses are pretty much just at a standstill.
Yep.
So honestly, put an offer in. Like just walk in with your real estate agent, find a comfortable place that you're at, and just put an offer in. Easy peasy. And then we went to the final subdivision where I got bit by like 10,000 mosquitoes. And this is the one that Aniva was super excited about because they have all these amenities with. They got a freaking water park in the neighborhood. And I'm like, dang.
So is that not exciting? They had like 3 or 4 pools, a water park, like basketball courts, tennis courts, all types of stuff. I was excited about it. I thought it was gonna be nice.
They had it all. And then imagine like seeing all this, right? And then you get super excited. And the Lord already sent us a sign because the house that we really wanted to see sold like the day that I got there.
It did. Like we got a picture of the house the night before, and then by the time he got there,
Jump was gone.
it was gone.
Off.
Talk about sad.
Yeah.
Talk about sad.
But you know, it was a weekend of my luck. But then we meet what I call a Sheila. We just gonna call her Sheila. Sheila was just super uneasy around me, and I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with this lady. I'm like, I'm just here to like look at homes. Like I'm on a specific schedule. Like I have no time to like mess around with like what you're trying to like sell me. Like I just want to see this house. If I like the house, I want to know the incentives. If I like the incentives, like we gonna tell you how much we want to pay for the house. Either you accept it, send it to your manager, deny it, whatever, we move on. Like I'm moving quick. Like we're like bing bang boom. I didn't want to talk.
How many houses did we put offers in on?
2. And both of them were approved.
Yep.
Which was like pretty funny.
That was.
But then they also like messed around and they showed me like the real price that they pay. I like don't do that around me. Like, cause if you show me the real price, like I want to pay your MSRP. Like I want to pay for what you pay for the wood. Like I don't want to pay for nobody labor. I don't want to pay like nothing else. Cause I know like, cause the same house that we couldn't get, somebody came in like after our offer was already approved. They came in literally that same day after we were like, well, we can't take it. And they're like, all right, well, you know, that's cool. We got this one. They came in and offered 40 grand higher. They came in and just said, yeah, we'll pay it. And they're like the builder's not gonna say, well, you know, this one guy right before you.
Exactly.
We were just about to give it for this.
They could have saved that little money. Oh well.
Because everybody's going up on prices right now. Like everything.
Way up, yeah.
One thing good about Texas, the gas was cheap. I put $33 in that Denali that I had. Which brings me to my next point. Pulled up in the goddamn rental car place. I was supposed to get a Kia Soul. Shout out to our real estate agent for trying to put this big man in the Kia Soul. And they were like, yeah. So the chick, she was like, I'm gonna upgrade you to a Toyota Camry. I'm gonna try to give you a Toyota Camry.
That's what, right?
From Kia Soul. I'd rather just take the Kia Soul, to be honest, but that's neither here nor there. So I get up there. The way San Antonio Airport works is like a way I've never seen it. You stand in the line and then you give them like a little slip and then they pull the car around for you. Well, all the cars were in Austin for the weekend. So they were giving, like everybody was getting upgrades. Like, I'm like, dang, like everybody got a full size SUV? So then it comes my turn.
Everybody want little cars. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So they pull up with, you got all the military folks there. So they just get their little whipper.
Oh yeah.
So this Joker is like, oh man, he's like, I don't even have it, but I can get you in this Lexus right here. I was like, okay, like yeah, whatever. So we're doing a little walk around of the Lexus, and then I look down, and it's a screw in the tire, and I was like, it's a screw in the tire right here. He's like, God dang it. He's like, man, they supposed to be blah blah blah. I was like, dang. And he was like, he just turns around. And he's like, well, I can get you in this Denali right here. I was like, I'll take it. And he even asked me to do a walk around. He was just like, the keys are inside. I'm like, all right, Jeff, we're out. So yeah, so it was pretty dope. That Denali, like,
How do we get on the subject of the Denali?
Do you have a
supposed to be
picture?
talking about houses.
yes.
Then we got a kid back here
Can I
talking.
see it?
Producers don't talk, Jay.
Yeah,
They don't talk to the end of the
supposed to be
video.
quiet
Like,
right now.
you got
You back there scrubbing, doing whatever you doing.
So, yeah. So after that, came back, we started working the contract. We literally just did the contract and all that stuff. But yeah, I would say it was a success. I've been trying to like show Neela all the like footage. It's so much to go through. Like it's endless.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Cause I was on my gimbal, I'm on the GoPro.
He was recording upside down.
Yeah, 'cause
and
I would
all this
forget.
other stuff.
I would honestly
So,
forget
yeah.
that the GoPro was going, and then like the GoPro like on the side. It was crazy, but it was fun. We had fun. That's all that matters. We had fun.
Yeah. It was definitely a totally different house buying experience though. I feel like we looked a while before we got this one. Earnest money was way cheaper down in Texas than it was up here. Way cheaper.
That haunts me to this day.
Yeah.
To this day.
And I feel like, how much is it? Almost 3,000 square feet.
This house?
Yeah.
Yeah. This house is 26. Is what Monterey had put down.
Mm-hmm. And then the one we got is 28. Yeah. For like half the
Boy,
price.
what do you mean?
It's crazy. It's so crazy to see the difference building up here and down there. So all in all, I think it was a success.
Yep.
Man, trying to work 2 jobs. No.
My man has 2 jobs.
I wish. You better get another job. Chop, chop.
Pick him up.
What? Again, child in the back talking. Where did the dog go?
He's in it.
Oh. Is that out?
Yep.
You gotta close it out. I'm gonna delete that stuff that's in delete this part. So I can remember it's deleted.
Delete this part?
Yeah.
Don't delete this part.
I am.
They want to see raw. Oh, baby, I like it raw. Yeah, baby, I like it raw.
Hush, hush.
Shimmy, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah, shimmy, yeah. Give it up, Mike.